Hello and welcome. I'm Rob Venus, and today we're doing a manned mission to Minmus. Almost want to say to the moon, but that's in another save. And I will probably end up using around the same type of ship to get me there as I did in there. So look forward to that. Now, due to unseen complications during this for this mission, it's actually going to take. This is going to be at least a two-part mission. And you'll see exactly why here in a minute, why this has to be a two-part. And do you guys really still want to see this building stage? The whole building part? I mean, sometimes it can be kind of interesting, but other times not really. It's not all that interesting. I mean, like, if you're going to be making, say, a single stage orbit, yeah, that you want to show the building stage, especially if that's part of your game title. If you don't want it on here no more, just cut this part out. Because I ran out of things to talk about real fast doing this. Well, trying to build stuff on screen. And the launch isn't all that particularly interesting either. For one of these next episodes, I'm just going to start kind of cutting these launches out. It's nothing interesting, nothing you haven't seen before in 1,000 other KSP videos. One thing that you may not have seen is starting to do the gravity turn that early. I just find that works really great for me. Your results may differ. But anyway, back to the video itself. We got Mr. Jebediah Kerman. He's going to be the first Kerbal to set foot on Minmus, even if it kills him. Whether that was a hint for a future episode, I don't know. You'd have to wait and find out if it kills him or not. Probably wouldn't. Even though if it does kill him, he still got the whole respawn thing going for him. Like somehow the Kerbals can magically respawn. I don't know what's up with that. So good for the Kerbals for figuring out able to figure out how to make them respawn. Just getting the same incarnation as Minmus, I could wait until it actually reaches my ascending and or descending node, but I do not want to wait for that. And that's why it really helps to read those messages first. Because now that I just wasted that one-time shot, which I should be on Minmus. Alright, incarnation is good, and just try and get an encounter. Relatively nothing really too exciting. Just still screwing with it, trying to uses the least amount of delta V to get there. It's going to end up taking me about 843 or 48.5 meters per second delta V. That math can I add up? That must be 500. That's a bit blurry on my screen right now. I'm trying to make it a bit clearer that instead of take 845, it do not have 845 worth of delta V though. That should be 545. It must be. Because there is no physical way I could get 848 meters per second out of 720. And for all you asking, why not? Because I know there may be a couple of little kids watching that doesn't quite understand the whole orbital mechanics thing. Don't worry, I don't understand much of it either, and I screw up. Okay, yes, after a quick reload and getting a bunch of the boring part of getting the capture, circling, going to Minmus, and skipping straight to the whole. I'm gonna put a maneuver node there to kind of show my approximate where I want to be landing. And my screen blacked out, so I have no idea what I am actually doing. Okay, there. Okay, thing caught up now. I don't know what was going on with that. But coming down over Minmus. And actually, I think one time I hit Minmus going like 20 meters per second, just bounced. That's a great thing about Minmus. You can bounce going insanely fast. And 20 meters per second is pretty fast if you really kind of think about all the meters per second. But the average human being like 1.5 meters, 2 meters, like 1.5 to 2 meters, 2.3. We're going 20 meters per second. That is, we're going to be in a roughly being. Okay, my screen blacked out again. Do not know what's up with the software, if it's corrupted video. Okay, there. It fixed itself. It's starting to behave again. Sure hope it's not the software. Then again, it's kind of cheap video editing software. Alright, so this is actually now in one time speed. And we have touchdown. And Minmus Lander 1 has successfully landed on Minmus. But there is a problem. We have less than 100 meters of Delta V left. And don't want to risk not having enough to even get into a decent orbit. Alright. Well, the material samples were processed, you began to turn your thoughts to how much Minmus looks like a mint dessert, and have discovered that you are now hungry. Gonna keep that, and I'm gonna transmit it for 20%. Oh yeah, right. I'd much rather build 1,000 crafts to come out here than transmit that for 20%. And for all you, and now back to an earlier statement of 20 meters per second is actually roughly 45 miles an hour. If you're here in the US, go over in England, use the imperial method to calculate speed and stuff. Be different. I have no idea what that would be in for metric users. And as for the flag, I think I'm going to have to eventually change that. Although Skyrim being a very awesome game, it's still their flag and their stuff. Alright, Minmus Lander 1, very low on fuel. Gonna have to wait until more arrives. So yes, that confirms this is a that we will be rescuing Jebediah Kerman. He does not die, hopefully. because I do not have any of that whole mod food water mod stuff on life support. And I do have a plan to rescue him. Is using part of the Kerbal attachment system and using the fuel couplers, the piping connectors, but I do not have those. I need another 90 science in order to actually get them. So I'm just building a sub-orbital. A sub-orbital ship that I can take to other parts of Kerbal, get some science off of them, so I can get that and go rescue him. This is planned to be with. I do want to be able to go rescue him within a week, so he's not stranded out at Minmus for days on end. One thing that would need to be last out there, if I say more or less real alive, would be water and air. Food, you could go, if he used to go a couple days without food, he'd be hungry upon return. He would not still be alive though. In this, ladies and gentlemen, so I should always check the center of mass. Although it looks fairly stable right now, looks like it's coming in great. Just watch, and I flip. The thing's not designed to land on its back; it's designed to land on its feet. I'm just trying to give some balance, some ballast, which does help quite a bit actually. Didn't seem like it, but it actually did help until that happened. That pretty well screwed me over. Yes, I do have an idea about what I am doing. Okay, not really. I'm lucky that I didn't roll over and break every single thing on there. I just getting some science, more science. They need to make better goo canister sayings, captions. I know there's mods to do it, but I think that should just be more implemented in the whole KSB game itself. Like, wait, guys, make something you'll be proud of. Oh, I said something sticky over here. Ignore that last comment. And I'm just still kind of checking out exactly how much I got it. Okay, that one mission wasn't enough for whatever reason. The mission to the North Pole, South Pole didn't kind of make it in here. I do not know why. It should have. And to make sure I don't use up all my fuel, I saw some for some for Jeb. Putting those decouplers on there to kind of separate out the fuel tanks, which worked out pretty well, except for there's an issue with them that you see later on in the next episode. Because right now this episode is going to be pushing about 15 minutes after it's all said and done. And if I included the next part, it would end up being like a 40-minute episode. I want to keep this around 15 to 20 minutes in length. Yeah, that's what seems like to be kind of popular right now, is the whole 15 to 20 minutes one. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Of course, I'm got plenty of stuff. Maybe we'll put on some science on here just for why not? What the heck? Like I said, I'm going to be putting on some science here soon. Maybe. I know I've definitely put a exposure bay on.